Hi guys, Ted Lucidi with Innovatus Imaging. Today we're going to do a demonstration on how to perform a preventive maintenance inspection on a standard ultrasound probe as well as a 3D ultrasound probe.
The majority of ultrasound probes can be classified as either standard or 3D volumetric. These probes are available in various sizes and shapes such as linear, curved, intercavity, and interoperative based upon a patient's anatomy and the region of interest. 3D probes can be further segmented into mechanical or matrix based upon technical complexity of the design. Matrix probes have a physical design similar to that of standard probes, so our focus here will be limited to mechanical 3D probes. Begin the visual inspection at the probe's scan head and work your way along the probe, ending at the system connector. Starting at one end and ending at the other will prevent potentially skipping important areas of the probe. Don't assume that anyone at the facility is performing visual inspections or inspections as detailed as covered here. The scan head houses extremely sensitive electronics. It's typically a two-piece clamshell design, but some models consist of 3 components. Continued exposure to chemical disinfectants has the potential to affect materials and adhesives over time, causing the plastics to become more brittle. Traumatic impacts can lead to external as well as internal damage. The scan head of a 3D probe contains not only sensitive electronics, but also complex mechanics, and it's oil-filled. The scan head is typically a 3-piece design consisting of a dome, upper probe housing, and lower probe housing. Traumatic impacts can damage and dislodge mechanical components underneath the dome, as well as break the oil-filled bladder, causing a leak. The acoustic lens covers the acoustic array on a standard probe, which is a highly sensitive component. Typically, the lens is square or rectangular in shape and has a rubber-like appearance. The lens on most probes is surrounded by a gray or white sealant. Inspect the lens under magnification, looking for cuts, holes, deep gouges, and areas where the lens material may have worn away. Inspect the seal surrounding the lens under magnification for any inconsistencies or lack of fill. Any area that is believed would allow fluid entry should be addressed with a high priority. The lens on some Phillips probes is coated with a clear coating that will peel away over time and may even appear fractured. It's acceptable and can be considered part of normal wear and tear. The peeling or lack of a clear coat does not affect performance and poses no safety risk. The dome covers highly sensitive systems that mechanically oscillate the array during 3D imaging. The dome is attached to the upper probe housing with adhesive, and the entire area is filled with oil. The dome should appear smooth, with no visible bulges or areas where the underlying mechanics may be pressing against the inside of the dome. There should be no deep scratches or gouges on the surface of the dome, and no weeping of oil. The probe housing is a covering for the scan head and associated electronics and mechanics. The housings are repeatedly exposed to harsh chemical disinfectants multiple times throughout each day. Degradation of materials and adhesives is expected to occur as part of normal wear and tear. Repeated chemical exposure may also cause the housings to become more brittle over time, thus more apt to fracture when exposed to trauma. Tiny openings in adhesive seals and fractures to the housings can permit entry of contaminants such as gels and chemical disinfectants. Inspect the probe housings under magnification, looking for cracks, open seams, or any separations. A good method to inspect the housing seams is to squeeze the 2 sections together. Excessive movement or signs of gel or liquid oozing in and out of the housings is signs of concern. Some probes have a 3rd component to the housing called a top cap. Holding the main probe housing, gently attempt to wiggle the cap. The cap should remain firmly in place. Closely inspect the housings of 3D probes for signs of oil may be leaking, or an oily residue covering the probe housing or strain relief. Intercavity probes are high-level disinfected by immersion or vapor chamber. Solid, quality seals are of utmost importance on these probes. Any area on any probe that is believed would allow fluid entry should be addressed with a high priority. Strain reliefs are located at either end of the system cable, and they should be very flexible. The strain relief itself may or may not be sealed to the cable sheathing based on the specific OEM design. Inspect each strain relief for any cuts, tears, or any other kind of mechanical damage. The system cable spans the distance between the system connector and the scan head. The cable should not possess any cuts, tears, or deep abrasions. The cable may appear slightly scuffed, slightly stained, or even marked. It's a good idea to run your hand along the entire length of the cable, feeling for abnormalities such as flatness, rollover damage, or kinks, which could indicate some internal damage. There are multiple styles of system connectors. Some system connectors have a locking knob that is used to secure the connector to the scanner. The knob is attached to a shaft which extends through the connector body. The knob should be firmly attached to the shaft, and it should only rotate between 90 and 120 degrees, and it's model dependent. It should never rotate over 180 degrees or continually rotate. It's common for the paint on the connector housing to become chipped over time, and it is indicative of some level of trauma. More important is to examine the shape of the housing, inspecting for any deformations. Deformation may make the connection to the scanner challenging and may lead to intermittent performance issues. Integral to the system connector is the pin bank, which provides the electrical interface to the ultrasound scanner. Certain probe models will have a large system connector with several hundred male pins. Others may have a smaller, low-profile connector with just 2 modular rows of pins, and even other styles may have a flat, pinless surface. Inspect the pin bank under magnification for pins that may be deformed, bent, or crushed. Inspect for areas of white oxidation or green corrosion, which may indicate that the system connector has been exposed to or even splashed with waters or chemical disinfectants. At this point, complete any required paperwork and communicate any findings with a department manager. Results can be classified into one of 4 categories: critical, immediate, preventive, or okay. Critical indicates that a probe is not safe for patient use and one that should be removed from service. An example is a break-in in the physical integrity of the lens, the seals, probe housing, or a cut in the cable, or any type of evidence of fluid invasion. Immediate indicates that key functions of the probe have been identified as not meeting performance or safety standards. The probe may not function as expected in its current state. Examples include gouges and deep scratches to the lens or the dome, and cracks to the probe housing. Preventive indicates that issues have been identified with the probe that need to be addressed sooner versus later. The probe can be used in its current state, but performance and/or physical integrity will be compromised in the future. Examples are a worn or damaged strain relief, cable rollover damage, or lens wear. OK indicates no trouble was found and the probe meets all safety and functional expectations. Any probes with findings deemed a patient safety issue should be addressed with an extremely high priority, and probes requiring service for minor cosmetic issues or minor issues can be of a lower priority.